Howdy folks, it's Dan here from dansfish.com, and I wanted to take a minute and show you some amazing fish we have here in the warehouse. We're going to go around and show you what's looking good, starting with these. These are the Manacapuru Redback Angelfish. They're getting big enough that they're starting to get that nice red up on the back. This guy is especially looking good. The bigger ones are having it more because it's a color trait that comes in more strongly as they mature. The smaller ones, they're starting to get a little hint of it, but you can really see it coming in nicely on the big ones. I think these guys look absolutely fantastic. Let's give them a little feed here. There we go. People ask what we feed these. We feed these, well, let me show you. So what I just fed them was the Easy Community floating pellet from Aquarium Co-op. We also feed them extreme monster pellets and algae wafers. We have magic small fish feed on the cart too, but that's for other species we'll feed a little later. And they generally go right to live food. Their favorite food is frozen bloodworms. So if you're having trouble getting wild type angelfish to eat, frozen bloodworms will usually get them over the hump where they start feeding, and then you can transition them to the dry foods. So anyway, good looking Manacapuru Redback Angels. These are actually on special right now because they're getting big enough that I need to sell them before they get so big that they're difficult to ship. So I've marked them down quite a bit. So they're on sale, which is rare. We usually never do sales here at Dan's Fish, but again, I don't want to hold onto these too long or they're gonna get so big it's gonna be hard to get them to you. But right now, they're a great size, 3-4 inches, and looking really, really good. All right, I want to show you a rainbow fish as well, but before I do, I want to stop here. I marked the tanks I want to show you with stickies here. These are some really good super red Bushynose Plecos. Look at this nice big group of them. Now it takes them a little while to smell the food and go get it, so we might not be able to see them eat, but I'm just going to pan across slowly here so you can see these guys and see the condition they're in. Like, look at these two up here. They haven't eaten in 24 hours, and look how nice their bellies are. They're not sunken. They're eating awesome. Doing really, really well for us. So, super red. Oh, they're already on the food. That didn't take long at all. Boom, just like that. Super red Bushynose Plecos. So, they are an excellent algae eater. They keep the front of the glass clean. I literally did not have to scrub the algae on the inside of the glass on this tank to film this video because they took care of it for me. They don't eat hair algae and blackbeard algae very well, but they're really good at eating any kind of algae that kind of sticks to a surface, like that brown diatom algae or a smooth green algae. Here they come. They're really going now. I better give them more. I just put in enough to film. I didn't put enough to actually give them a feed. There's a lot of fish in there. Let's watch this. This is going to be fun. We're just going to get a mob of Plecos. Oh, it's going under the plate. Never mind. We won't see that. But they do this. See this? Just a Pleco pile. Just jumping all over that. Anyway, good eaters, really good algae eaters, and they're just as hardy in my experience and easy to keep as the standard colored Bushynose Plecos, but they have that nice bright red color, so they add just a little something to an aquarium color-wise. By the way, I just fed them an a protein pellet. We also give them algae wafers and stuff. Okay, these guys, let's get some Easy Community floating pellet here. These are Melanotaenia boesemani. These are the ones from Aytinjo. And what makes the Aytinjo so special, as well as the Aves Creek collection locations of this species so special, is that as they mature, that yellow on the back of the males actually turns a bright orange color. In the front half of the male, when they're in the right mood, turns almost black. It's like a Halloween rainbow fish, orange and black. Give them a little more. That wasn't nearly enough. So they're an extra color punch, I guess. The standard ones in the aquarium industry are a light blue with yellow, and they're pretty. That's fine. That's a beautiful fish, but the orange on black is really something special to see. These do get decent size. They can get 5 inches, maybe a little more. So they need a good sized aquarium because they're strong swimmers. They need room to move. So something like a 55 on up, I think would be just fine for keeping a group of these long term. Boesemani rainbow fish from Aytinjo. Okay, let's go around the corner here, and I've got some more fishies to show you. We're gonna start with these down here. Okay, these are German blue rams. Look at these before I feed them. Just let's appreciate them for a second. Look at how gorgeous those are, especially those ones that were just displaying there. Well, now I'm here, so they stopped displaying because now they're excited about food. They know that I mean dinner time. So let's give them some of the easy floating food. And I just love this fish. I've always thought it was one of the prettiest fish on the planet. We source ours from hobbyist breeders. So these did not go through import. I used to import lots of rams, and I gave up. Even the importers, or the exporters, I suppose, even the fish that come in from Europe are difficult to get healthy. So I eventually just stopped importing them. Now, at this time, I'm just buying them from hobbyist breeders. So there's a couple other importers I want to try because the hobbyist breeders can't always keep up with demand. But if you're a hobbyist and you breed German blue rams or electric blue German rams or gold German rams or any of the Ramirezii species, any of the color variants, I would love to purchase from you. We can pay 25% of the retail cost landed. So if a fish costs me $1.50 and then shipping is 50 cents, the landed cost of that fish would be $2. So that's how that works. So if I bought it from you for $2, I would sell it for $8. That's what our markup is. But anyway, blue German rams looking fantastic, happy and healthy, and doing great on dry prepared food. So they are ready for aquariums. Okay, let me get some food here and show you these diamond tetras. They're getting big enough. I think I can turn down the ISO on this one. Those are super bright. There we go. These are getting big enough that they're starting to develop that really nice diamond flecking that gives them their name. It takes them a little while to develop that, but at around an inch, inch and a half, it starts coming in really nicely. So these are there. They're starting to get their adult coloration and starting to look really good. Of course, they went in the one corner that doesn't have bright light. Hang on, I'm going to try to draw them to the center here with more food. Because when they go off to the corner there's no light right in the corner, right? The light's in the middle of the tank usually. So anyway, feeding a large group of tetras or cyprinids or other fish is just a delight because you get the horde that goes up for the food, and it is just so fun to watch. It's, I think, one of the joys of fish keeping. We don't traditionally carry a lot of cichlids, but we have some nice cichlids that I want to show you here that we brought in. So when we do bring in cichlids, we don't tend to bring in the big, mean ones. We tend to bring in things like this. This is a decent size. These will get, these can get 8 inches or more. So they're not a tiny fish, but they're still a manageable size for people. Enough people have 55, 75, 90-gallon aquariums, etc., that they could do these. These are the Geophagus Sveni from Rio Parana. And the reason I brought them in is because so many people have been asking for them. It's a highly requested fish. And the reason I've been hesitant to bring them in is because at this size, I can't tell the species apart. So I am at the mercy of my supplier, who tells me they are Sveni from Rio Parana. If these grow out and turn out to be wine Millerai or something, I'm not gonna know that, and neither is the person that buys them for a couple years. So with Geophagus, I've been a little hesitant to bring many in, because I think it's a bad experience if a customer buys them and a couple years later is like, wait a minute, I put all this time in food and energy and resources into, mainly time, into getting these grown up and sexed out, and it's not even the right species. So that's a risk we take when we buy these small Geophagus. But I've had enough requests for them, and they are cool enough fish that I decided to go ahead and do it. I mean, I trust my supplier. I've been dealing with them for years, but you know, every now and then something does go wrong. So, but that being said, I'm such a bad salesman. It's like I'm telling you not to buy these, basically. That being said, these are big, they're beautiful. I mean, they're mid-sized cichlids. They're beautiful, and what I love about Geophagus is they're not a highly aggressive cichlid. Now, when they pair up, of course, they're gonna claim a territory and want to spawn and all that, but they're not like, you know, a dovi, a wolf cichlid, or a Midas cichlid, or anything like that. So, manageable for many, many people. Above them, let me get this ladder over here. All right, get a little more food here. Above them, we have this fish. And the reason I want to show you this fish, I better take down the ISO because those are super bright. I want to show you this fish because this is the albino redhead Tapajos. It's an absolutely stunning fish. If you want to see what these look like when they're adults and get color, I have a video that I released a few months ago called like All Albino Fish or Only Albino Fish, something like that. And it features adults of these that are big enough to have all their colors, which are just amazing. But I want to show you these because I also have regular redhead Tapajos, the non-albino version, and I want you to be able to see both of them. So here's the albino version, and a little later we'll show you the non-albino version. But there they are, they're doing great, they're eating well, they're growing. They don't have color yet, but they're starting to get strong pattern. Like on the center of the body, you can start seeing that big kind of iridescent spot on a few of them, and a little bit of red starting to come in. So it's not gonna be long now. If you buy these, you're only a couple months out from a really, really beautiful fish, I would say. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I don't think there's anything else down here. So let's go around. I turned off the main lights in this warehouse because I wanted to cut down on glare. But just to give you an idea, hopefully this shows up on camera, this is the warehouse. So we have 478 aquariums. I'll just spin around here real quick so you can see them. We have a diagnostic lab, and we have a workstation and everything we need to make this work. So that's what the Dan's Fish Warehouse looks like. There's some fish down here that I know I want to show you, so let me get down there. Push my little cart here, putt with my little cart over to another cool cichlid. This is the bandit cichlid. Oh, gotta fix the ISO. These are not albinos. Need more light. There we go. These are the bandit cichlid. They're, well, I'll show you because it's hard to say the name. There they are. They're Guianacara's owroewefi. I can never say that like Germany last name. I'm gonna give them, since they're a bottom dwelling fish, I'm gonna give them a bottom food. That's the extreme monster pellet there. And when they grow up, they kind of look like a bandit. They get a big, bold stripe down through the eye, and they get some other color and markings down the body. A beautiful kind of yellowish color. Some of them get red, and that contrasts with that kind of bold black color into a really pleasing looking fish. So there they are, the bandit cichlids. Guianacara of all kinds are just really, really awesome. These are no exception. These are so small, they don't really have any of the color yet, and they don't have really strong banding markings yet, but that will come with time. They'll become real lookers. Another one I'm excited to have is this. This is one we have not brought in for quite some time. This is another of the Geophagus type species, and this is the gold dust earth eater from Altocino, Geophagus species Altocino. It does not yet have a species name as far as I know. If it does, that happened fairly recently. And they're just a good looking, very different looking Geophagus type. They look quite different than any other Geophagus I've ever seen. They get kind of an angular head, kind of like a hump head, or a red head earth eater, but not quite. A lot of gold flecking down the sides. They just turn into really, really interesting looking geophagus type fish. Just as peaceful and hardy and easy, and same similar size to the rest of the geophagus. Just a different variety you don't see very often. And then up above them, let's quote our friends at Monty Python, and now for something completely different. Some killie fish. Those that know me know that I'm an absolute nut for killie fish. Let's give them some of the floating community pellets here. These are the gold Lyretail killie fish. For those that know the scientific names, this is Aphyosemion australi. This is the gold form, also called the orange form. And they're just stunning. This fish is probably responsible for getting more people into killie fish than any other because it's so pretty, it's fairly hardy, it's easy to breed, and it's available. Not many killie fish are available, but this one is, I wouldn't say regularly available, but you can occasionally find these in like a pet shop. So many a killie nut has walked into a fish store or pet shop, seen these, had their mind blown, got them, spawned them, raised them, and then became a killie fish addict for the rest of their life because this is the gateway drug to killie fish. This one in Fundulopanchax gardneri and Nothobronchius guentheri, or kind of the gateway killie fish. Anyway, on these I need to close their lid because killie fish are good jumpers, and I don't want to leave that open and risk that. But yeah, look at just how absolutely stunning these things are. Okay, let's round the corner here. I'm going to show you the bluest Tetra that I've ever seen. There's a lot of Tetras that have some blue color to them. None that have this much. This is the super blue Emperor Kerri Tetra. It's like a regular Kerri Tetra, same species, but it's been bred to accent that blue. So the whole side of the body, especially on the males, is an iridescent blue color. And it's, you know, a little kind of like a royal blue. There's kind of a purple sheen on it as well. I don't know of any other Tetra that has as much blue as these guys. True blue, for sure. Now, hopefully it's coming through on camera. Iridescence is very hard to pick up on camera, but hopefully you're getting an idea of just how brilliant royal blue, purple blue these are in real life. One of my favorite fish ever. The first time I saw these, they were one that blew my mind. I just had never seen a Tetra like this. Okay, now let's show you a live bearer. I gotta put my cart down here. Ran into the ladder I'm about to climb. That was no good. Okay, and here is the live bearer. Okay, let me turn down the ISO. That's super bright, isn't it? This is a bright tank. Okay. Now these are the solid yellow Variatus Platy. And I'm gonna get them a little food here if I can. I love them. I just think that nice, bright, solid yellow color, it's something you don't see in many live bearers. And you know, you've got some that have some yellow on them and a little bit here and there. You've got Variatus Platies, but those have a lot of black. You've got the Sunrise Platies, those are nice, but they have a lot of orange and red. Very few solid yellow. But I love them. I think that this looks just absolutely stunning, especially against a blue background like that, because yellow is the complementary color to blue, and so it contrasts really, really nicely. Yeah, love this fish. Now the males, as they mature, they'll get a really nice high dorsal fin. It's just starting to come in on some of these. These are rather small yet. And on the females, a few of them get some of the higher dorsal fin, but most of them have standard fins. But the males get really nice high fins as they mature. Okay, I'm gonna turn the ISO back up because where I'm going, it's gonna be a little darker, I think. And let's show you, excuse me, some Corydoras and some Plecos. So here's kind of the support side of the warehouse. These are the boilers, those are the UV sterilizers. Back around here, we have a very big heat exchanger. We have our carbon reactors, our sediment filters here and here, and one of our pumps. And so when I'm on this side of the warehouse, it tends to be a little bit noisy, so bear with me. I'm right by the big pumps. But hopefully, I mean, this microphone I'm using is decent at cutting out noise, so hopefully it's fine. Okay, let me get these stickies off here. Now these I'm gonna feed some of the monster pellets, and they're pretty shy, I've noticed, when the camera comes out. So these are the elegant Cory, Corydoras elegans, and aptly named Cory. These were bred and raised by a hobbyist out in Georgia. Thank you so much, Miss Riggins, for the amazing fish you send us. And I don't know if they're gonna come out to the food. I've got this big camera lens staring at them, but I bet if we're patient, we'll see them all come over and start eating. But anyway, the Corydoras elegans is one that you don't see all that often, especially aquarium bred and raised. It's frequently available as a wild collected fish from Colombia or Peru, but aquarium bred ones are quite rare to find. So really happy to have these. When they're aquarium bred and they don't have to go through the stress of being caught and imported and all that stuff, I just think that's generally less stressful for the fish, and so they generally come in better shape and do better. I don't have anything against collecting fish from the wild, though, especially when it creates a economic opportunity for locals who will then preserve the environment because they don't want their resource to go away. That's been proven out in several collecting projects like Project Piaba. But here we go, now we're getting a nice group on there. But my favorite way to obtain fish is from breeders, from aquariums. They just seem to be hardier and do better. Okay, next fish I'm gonna have to get in to show you. This is gonna be, okay, first of all, let me open the lid more. I'm not gonna feed these guys, these are Plecos, because they're not gonna come out right away. But here's what I wanna show you. See all this? This is all fresh poop. This was not here yesterday. This is all fresh Pleco poop. And there's just some little bits of the extreme monster pellet left over there. Big fan just kicked on, so sorry for the noise. But let me show you these L33 Belo Monte Plecos, sometimes called the yellow tiger Pleco, also bred and raised by Miss Riggins. Check these out. Look at these beauties. Just absolutely stunning aquarium bred and raised L333 Plecos. And at 40 bucks a pop, that's a great price for the quality and the health of these. And the fact that they're eating so well. You saw that poop. They came in eating great, and they've stayed eating great. So anyone who's ever got a Pleco before that they couldn't get to feed, you know it's worth paying any amount of money to avoid that scenario. That is a horrible scenario. So these, sorry, I stirred up all the poop and stuff, but these have fat bellies, they're eating well. They're gonna do awesome for you. None of those pinch bellies, none of those hunger strikes or anything like that. So, all right, there they are, L33 Belo Monte Plecos. Did I say L33? L333. Dude, look at them all. Just a happy tank of happy Plecos. Well, they were before I disturbed them. I better put these plates back because Plecos without hiding spots can get stressed out, and I don't want them to get stressed. So bear with me 1 second here while I do this. Okay, there we go. Now moving on. As we go back, let me just show you this. This is these are all orders that are getting pulled for tomorrow. Once they're pulled, they'll go on these shelves so they can fast overnight. and void their bowels so that they don't poop a bunch in the bag. So today is a day we're going to select all the fish and get them ready to send to our customers. And then tomorrow we'll give them all fresh, nice water. Again, seal up all these bags you're seeing, and actually mail them out. So that's what that process looks like. And now I'm going to show you the regular redhead Tapajos. We showed you the albino a little while ago. This is what the regular one looks like this right here. So this is a redhead Tapajos. Now these are too small to have much color, but they're starting to get a little bit. You can see that iridescence on the tail. You can see a little bit of red and a little bit of blue coming in. But at 2.5 to 3.5 inches, they haven't really developed much yet in the way of color. But they're healthy, they're happy, they're gonna grow into stunners. This guy's just starting to get a little bit of his color. And what they're famous for, redhead Tapajos, is their red head. Pyrocephalus, their scientific name, Geophagus pyrocephalus, means firehead, because they get this brilliant red head, but also a lot of other very nice coloration in the body. So there's the regular redhead Tapajos. So now you've seen the regular and the albino. So that'll do it. I think I'll do an outro now and just say thanks for tagging along. We have all these fish and many others available at dansfish.com. I make a living, and all of my staff make their living by selling fish to people. So if you see something you like on the website, we always appreciate it if you order. I do want to shout out my friends at Aquarium Co-op. I don't get paid to talk about their foods or their products or anything, but I think they do a great job. Some of their foods have been game changers for me. And their overflow sponges have made a big difference in my company for the better. They clog so infrequently because they're so porous and strong, and there's so much sponge material there that I don't have to change them very often, and that cuts down on my labor costs a ton and keeps us from having issues of tanks overflowing. So I think they do a great job. So Cory, keep it up. With that though, thanks for watching, and until next time, I really hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.